in that world as far as trying to figure out hiring because all of the clients that I deal with, everyone's trying to get it figured out in a way that makes sense, right? And I want to go back through a little bit of history on this, where we were, where we are, and what actually is coming. Because there's big red flags that are currently happening. Set up separate meetings just to drive and go see my clients to talk to them about this one thing because it's my biggest concern right now because of all the hard work you've been doing. So we went through the Great Recession, right? It's been kind of doing its thing, right? And then we get it, well, not with the Great Recession, but we went through, sorry, Great Resignation, excuse me, right? Which was that was the lower to mid tier folks. That was the lower level, and then your middle managers were really like, hey, we can jump. There's all these opportunities. Let's go, right? And they did that, and then it kind of paused for a little while, and now, and so folks, they were able to kind of almost readily replace. Everybody was just trading teams at this point. It was like free agency. Everyone just kind of traded players for a while, and folks got raises. Kind of the way it happened. That was the big piece. They just got raises, or they found a different area to work in. That kind of settled down, and people at the same time were giving raises to their talent. Say, hey, you're good. Well, it's been 2 years now, and a lot of those have started going away. You see that specifically in tech, but there's a lot of industries where they just had these jobs that were there because it looked good to be able to say that you had it. They're gone. They're going away. They've been just stripped. And if you're not readily contributing to margin in some sort of operational way, they're cutting people all over. So that trimming's happening. So that's why you have all these people at the lower level jobs now. They can't find work because there's not as many BS jobs left anymore. I mean, that really what it comes down to. So they're having to reassess what they want to do for work, and that part is upsetting a lot of folks. To include a lot of jobs that used to require a bachelor's degree, they were gone. So now you got these people who are overqualified. They're over. They have too much education for the jobs that are available, which makes business owners wary of hiring them because they think they may jump and go somewhere else. So that gets us to where we're currently at, which is compensation is flatlined for the most part because businesses are looking at top line and a lot of businesses shrinking, or it's basically starting to plateau. Expenses have gone up. So everyone's like compensation is flatlined and no one is really planning. So one of the surveys that I look at consistently is the NFIB. They have a job survey and then they have their small business optimism survey. I look at it every single month. And something happened over the last few months, which is to the talent pool for your 20% or those specialists that you have, the high skill. There were, and the numbers are about there. It's basically now you get 2 applicants for every one of your skilled positions. That was at point 0.5. Now it's jumped up and it's gonna drop again down. The thing that they're not bifurcating out of the data that I've been able to kind of suss out after talking to some folks that, and the reason it's a 2-for-1 is people, it's some of those niche jobs, the businesses have gone under. But so there is some of that out there. There's been some consolidation, but the vast majority of that extra person are folks that work for you. That's where that extra person comes from. So we've got the next leg of the Great Resignation. It's going to start hitting the skilled people. So where I'm going with all this, take a look at your compensation for we have to maintain these folks here. Look at the market and have that discussion if it makes sense for you if you have to protect those areas, because the next leg is starting and it's going to be the next 6 months or so.